Fallout 4 is a video game. As such, it has various items used to heal, kill things, and resist damage. But what if you didn't want to use any items? Can you beat Fallout 4 with nothing? So what do I mean by with nothing? I mean I can use no weapons, wear no armor or clothing, use no food, stim packs, or chems of any kind. Power armor is also off limits. Everything else is fine. I can still pick up items and sell them, still use stim packs to revive companions, and still use any perks I want. Going into this, I based my build around strength and endurance, to deal more damage with my fists and to have more hit points. My parents also named me Gnaeus Pompey McStupid, because of their reasons for choosing to do so. I then listened to my wife nag me, took a stroll, had a wee rest, and survived the nuclear holocaust. On my way into the vault, I compared Nora's bottom to those of the other neighborhood women, and was frozen. After waking up, I failed the challenge. See, I'm wearing both the vault suit and the wedding ring. Yeah, the game truly was rigged from the start. But I decided that it didn't matter and just unequipped all my stuff once I got the Pip-Boy. Out into the world, I put a point into endurance, read a comic book, dog-napped a dog, and punched a bunch of raiders. The raiders posed no real threat, and even the Deathclaw was killed by Preston while I hid from it. After that, I spoke some words, bartered with an orange man, and made a beeline for Diamond City. I then talked to Ellie, and eventually arrived at Park Street Station. The Triggermen were surprisingly easy to kill, but do big damage to me in turn. This is where I discovered the real problem with this run: no stim packs. Once you've taken damage, you either need to pay a doctor, find a water source, or sleep in a bed. If there are none of those three options, then you're screwed. Luckily, there were beds down here, but they can only be used when not in combat, and my stealth capabilities suck. Even on Super Crybaby Easy mode, I died many times, but eventually I was able to get past the Triggermen. After Nick was free, I robbed a house, agreed to travel with a make-believe man, and went to Fort Hagen. The synths sucked to fight, so I made Nick do as much work as possible. I even gave him a fat man, with which he killed a couple of synths during the Kellogg fight. Speaking of Kellogg, he was much easier to fight than I thought he would be. After looting his noggin, I talked to Dr. Stupid, spelunked in a cadaverous gray matter, and it was off to the glowing sea. This really sucked. I eventually resorted to discovering a location, then fast traveling to Diamond City to heal my rads. I finally got there and talked to the Shrek wannabe, but chose to do some faction quests before fighting the Courser. I'm siding with the Minutemen because they're the shortest overall quest line, and because they won't make me fight Brotherhood Knights or a super mutant behemoth. Their quests were about what you'd expect: building, raiders, more rats. After that, it was time to go to Green Tech Genetics. The Gunners were a massive pain to fight, not least due to the complete lack of beds and water sources in the building. I had to just fight my way through, and then retreat to heal up before diving back in. After all of this, I was dreading the Courser fight, but when it actually came, well, maybe it's better just to show you. After that anticlimax, I talked to the idiot, and this is where my PlayStation decided to screw me. I killed everyone in the railroad and decoded the Courser chip, and talked again to Dr. Amori, and none of it was captured on film. You can even see the corpses of the railroad agents as proof that their flesh truly was forfeit, and that their souls were mine. I then talked to Virgil, talked to Preston, talked to Sturgis, played with Legos, and was beamed up into the Institute. Father said words, died, and then it was time to help more settlements. I died several times doing this crap, but in the end I can safely say that it wasn't worth it. Eventually it was time to take back the castle. I punched a Mirelurk, let Preston's merry band of retards kill the Mirelurk Queen, fought a legendary glowing Mirelurk for several minutes, fortified the castle, and it was once again settlement time. I found Preston on the road, talked with a sultry-voiced robot, killed some super mutants, killed some Mirelurks, talked to the nobodies, killed ghouls, killed more ghouls, and built the Gnaeus Pompey McStupid School for Dumb Children. Finally, the children of the wasteland, who are a bit too slow, will have a place that they can learn what worthless little urchins they really are. Afterwards, I performed ancient Navajo mating rituals with Ronnie Shaw, built an artillery, and hit a snag. You must throw a grenade in order to complete the quest. I'm not supposed to do that. I eventually decided it didn't matter since it didn't damage any enemies, similar to shouting at the Greybeards in Skyrim, and just threw the thing. It was then time to defend the castle. I thought it would be easy, seeing as my settlers were well armed and I had many turrets. But your sister, this battle was not. Most of it looked like this. When I did fight, even with multiple ranks in the Iron Fist and Toughness perks, I hit like an annoyed toddler, and was about as resistant to damage as a housefly with leprosy. Most altercations ended up looking something like this. This took upwards of 2 hours. The Minutemen and Nick were about as worthless as I was. Luckily, they can't die, so we managed a victory. I then grinded some levels in Sanctuary, grabbed Codsworth, since I thought he would do more damage than Nick Valentine, and inched my way into the Institute. The Institute battle was tough at first, but then I realized that Minutemen would spawn endlessly, and so let them handle it. Eventually, I found a water fountain, and hit my apotheosis, truly making me a god amongst insects. I then hid in a corner, put the thing on the other thing, and beat Fallout 4 without using any items.